I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I think and what is true. And sometimes that's going to go against what you believe to be true. This can be a bit of a problem. I recognize this, and I'm going to try my best to explain to you why, what the big deal is. What am I trying to say? First, let me thank you. Welcome to this Sunday Eve, the eve before Labor Day. Whatever that means, Labor Day means nothing to anybody. It's Grover Cleveland. Who knows? It's the last day of summer, and you can't wear seersucker and tan and all that stuff. Nobody cares about that anyway. Nobody. Ask most men about that. Hey, what are you wearing? What are you wearing khaki pants for? With what? Forget it. Forget it. I'm going to say things to you that you're not going to like, but that's why you're here, because you want the truth. This is synthetic media at its finest. It's almost AI. It's intelligent, artificial intelligence, whatever that is. It's synthetic media in a way, which is a new term I love. I love this wonderfully. Let me say, please, thank you for joining us. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And understand this show is brought to you by our dear friends, our sponsors at My Patriot Supply. Please go to the website, preparewithlionel.com. You know this. You are smart. I don't have to tell you this. I don't have to point this out to you. We've said this before. There was a time when people thought that storing food, having emergency food, was just kind of like, it's crazy. You're a prepper. You're a tinfoil hat lunatic. Not anymore. Not only do you have that, you better have a generator. You better have a way to purify water. You better have ammunition and weaponry under your Second Amendment rights if you are so inclined. Because I'm not worried necessarily about just food, but just chaos. When bad people roam the land. And you cannot be in the position where you have to say, but what if we need food? That's the scariest thing. I don't know if you've ever been in that position before, but it's frightening. There's no food, especially if you have kids. This will assuage your fears, ameliorate the problems. Preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. My Patriot Supply is the best in the West. Preparewithlionel.com. Okay, let me give you a couple of things here. First, I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to answer the question your way, and I'm going to disagree with you. You ready? Okay. In no particular order, because I talk to you stream of consciousness. I think about what comes in their mind. I make a few notes, and then I decide whatever it is. But let me give you an idea. I start off liking somebody or not liking somebody, and I'm always willing to change my mind, to change and see how they develop. Because I love the idea of the great professional politician. Marjorie Taylor Greene had so much and has so much incredible potential. She is a natural media darling. She is so smart. She knows just what to say. She's brash, boorish. She represents just this newfound leadership vector, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Does she have any potential for big term, big ticket national stuff? Not if she goes this way. Why do I say this? Because you can't go on the Alex Jones show if you want to be a politician. You can't do it. You can't do it. If you can do it, it's legal. It's legal. I mean, it's not against the law. It's if you're a YouTube or a media person, sure, absolutely. If you're Bobby Kennedy, don't do that. Don't do that. And Tucker Carlson is falling into that category too. This is reality. Do I like Alex? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have no idea. I wish I could understand a little bit more about his trial, his libel trials and the like. But I can't and I shan't. I don't necessarily get them, but I don't know what to say about this. I don't know how to I don't know how to explain them. MD, by the way, says, Lionel, even though you are capable to excite a hell of a lot of me with your stubbornness, BBC Tay documentary, you are excellent analyst and entertainer. Thank you. Um, even though you're capable to excite a hell out of me with your stubbornness, BBC Tate documentary. I don't know what that means. Andrew Tate, stay away from him. He's crazy, MD. But thank you so much. You're out of your mind. Stay away from him. The guy's it's so stupid. What do you need to know about him? What do you need to know about the allegations of this man? For the love of God, what do you need to know? For the love of God, in any event. But thank you, my friend. Now let me talk to you about some realistic stuff. Marjorie Taylor Greene cannot be serious. She is not. She is going to be forever linked with somebody. And by the way, Alex is talented. He had the best show of the old days. I think he should be able to say anything he wants regarding anybody. I think anybody should say anything they want about anybody. Now, if they want to get sued, and if they were sued for intentional infliction of emotional distress, that's a different story. See, it's one thing for me to say, hey, I don't think this happened. I don't think this shooting occurred. I don't think Vietnam occurred. I don't think the JFK assassination. I think JFK is still alive. I think Prigozhin's alive. I don't think he was. You can say whatever you want. Whatever. I don't care what it is. I don't think there is a COVID. I think there is a COVID. I don't believe whatever you want. Here's the problem. Whenever I decide to direct people against you, if I say, yeah, and you see that guy, you see those people, I'm not saying that's Alex's case, but it's happened before where people have been targeted, or it's not just libel and slander and something else. That's a different story. But I don't want to relitigate that. But MTG Marjorie, you're crazy. You're not, you're always, you don't understand. He's third rail. And that's sad to say politically, not for what we're doing, but that's it. Number two, there are people who are going to find themselves in hot water because they think for some reason the social media rules have been waived somehow. They think, oh, you can say whatever you want now. There's a lot of bold stuff about vaccines and illnesses and death and vaccine and lies and China and Wuhan and Fauci. They're going to learn. They don't get it yet. They don't understand it yet, but they're going to find out. That shouldn't be, but that's the way it is. And that's one thing. That's one particular risk you take if you're an influencer or a creator or whatever you want to call this stuff. Synthetic media person as I am. I love that term, synthetic media. But if you want to run for office, you're crazy. You're crazy to do that. Crazy. If you run for office, you can't do that. Why? Because he's perceived as a nut. And you're going to be asked to whether you endorse everything he's done. You're going to be asked, do you endorse that? Do you think? Well, no. Well, this is what he did. This is what he said. And do you agree with what he said about kids and dying? And well, no. Well, why are you on his show? This is what they're going to do. And she doesn't care, which tells me she doesn't want to go far. She just wants to do her thing, and that's fine. But you're not going to go far in terms of politics. You can't do that. You can't. Again, to be distinguished from people who are, who just want to do their stuff. All right. Now, most people are not going to understand that because they're going to say, but I like him. That's not the issue. Again, it's critical. It's issue analysis, critical thinking. It's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. You have to know the way things are perceived, not what you believe the truth to be. And I have learned under this, it doesn't take me a long time. I understand immediately the new rules. See, this is something that's happening right now. You are seeing new levels of, well, let me go back. I was listening to a wonderful, what's his name? Thornton Smith, and then with, what's his name? What's his name? Not Gillespie, not Humphrey. Anyway, it was an old C-SPAN, and they were talking about the media. I'm thinking, oh my God, Douglas, not Humphrey. Anyway, they were talking about it. And they were talking about Brian Lamb, whom I love. Love him. Love him. But they were talking about how talk radio polarized people. Thinking, oh, this is how old this was. Polarized people. Talk radio? Every single day I talk to you, every single day I am awash in so many things I can't even keep straight all of my feelings and all of my observations because I feel like I'm in a tsunami, and they have nothing to do with what you're reading in the nothing to do with it. Do you see where the country's going now? And just Marjorie Taylor Greene, where do you think you're going with this? Tell me where you want to go. Do you think tell me, because you're not ready for you're for Republican politics, but they also don't like you because they're gonna turn against you, but you're not gonna win. You're not gonna be president. Not with that. No way. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No way. Doesn't work like that. Why? Because he's perceived as a nut. And you're a conspirator. And that's all right. And things are changing in a weird way. Did you see where all of a sudden Sean Penn is starting to say some stuff? You got to know what to listen for. And when I talk to people that say, oh, I don't care about Sean Penn, I say, no, you're not listening. Sean Penn was the darling of the left. And Sean Penn does not understand he was used. Sean Penn was used. Sean Penn, we'll put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised. Sean Penn did a lot of stuff in Haiti. I wouldn't be surprised if not Sean Penn, mind you, but if more people than you would ever realize have so much dirt on them and are so demented and scabrous in their own world, in their own right, they may, I wouldn't be surprised if they may, are if they may in fact be perhaps cajoled and wheedled and impressed upon by their duty to do certain things to prevent charges. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that about Sean Penn, perhaps, but it wouldn't surprise me. You know, he did that Haiti thing, and there's all these things that happened. Remember Oprah and your girls' school? And what happened with that? What happened with that? See, if you worked for me, I would say, do me a favor. Put this as on my board, on my big board, like they always have, like at Hawaii Five-0. Steve McGarrett had this big chalkboard. I was, let's put this here. This may or may not turn out to be something. I don't know yet. Bill Richardson. Remember they brought him up with Epstein, and that kind of went away? When something's brought up, Jouffre, is that over? What about the boys thing? Remember the boys? Remember those lawsuits? I don't know. Is Epstein over with? I don't think so. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that one. What's happening with that? Here's another one for you. I know you're having a hard time following this because I don't say, and here's the next story. In today's story, Tony Fauci said that he may have been lying regarding how important masks were to prevent COVID. Please see my video on that one. That's kind of like a no-brainer. It's kind of funny, sort of. But listen to this story. Listen to this one. And by the way, just to let you know, the Alex Jones comment will be totally misunderstood. I think he was still the best and the most interesting show I ever heard. He is the only show I ever heard every single day, or tried to, in its entirety. There are very few podcasts I ever want to miss. Or I don't want to miss. David Knight. I don't know how what that was about. How Alex cast him. He's one of the most talented, naturally talented people of all time, with a perspective and a skewed take. I love. I told you I love The Hill. I love The Rising. I like Brianna and Moondog or whatever his name. I have no idea. And then Breaking Point was Star. Is it Breaking Point? And Crystal Ball and Crystal Chandelier, whatever the hell the name is. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. I like it. I like it. I like it. And here's what I'm saying. When I see it, do you remember the first time you ever? Do you remember a time when you maybe tasted something for the first time, where you remember tasting cumin for the first time, or coriander, or five spice? You go, what's that? What is that? That's lavender. Whoa! We have a spice store right around us, and they have this gift box. Oh my God. You could have the time of your life, just with your kids, just open it up and say, what does this smell like? Because Americans don't have spices. We have, salt, pepper, spicy. Oh, that's hot. Okay, that's good. We don't have really, oregano. Okay, that's basil. Okay, kind of, sort of, a little off. Cumin. Ooh, cilantro. Maybe smells like soap. Okay. The reason why I like that is, like, it makes me think of, like, look at the different flavors I've got. Look at these flavors. I never thought about it that way. Yeah. Interesting. That's what I see regarding this. Okay, here's the story. Former DNC chairwoman and ABC contributor Donna Brazil, one of the most boring people. Donna Brazil and Harold Ford Jr. in a debate. Well, I don't think that President Biden made it clear that his intentions were necessarily inconsistent with that of the American people. Well, I tend to disagree with. I mean, they are just. I mean, they are. Dear God, are they boring? But anyway, DNC former chairman and ABC contributor Donna Brazil sounded the alarm over former President Trump's support among conservatives, despite 4 criminal indictments against him, admitting she's never seen a political movement as strong as Trump's. Quote, I've never seen anything like this with Donald Trump. I mean, being indicted, that's making him stronger, raising $10 million, using an ugly mugshot. This is a movement. Stop right there. She suggested that Democrats must deploy unconventional political tactics against Trump and his base to successfully defeat him in 2024. Stop right there. Why is she saying that? She's saying that because she was told to say that. Why was she told to say that? Because they're trying to announce what they're going to do. Not what they have to do, but what they're going to do. They always want you to know what's going on. Quote, anyone who thinks you can apply the old political rules to try to defeat this candidate based on that he's scary, he's ugly, whatever you might want to call it. This is a movement. And we have to respect the fact that it's a movement. This comes after recent polling data that shows that Trump's support increased after his mugshot was released by the Fulton County DA. As she pointed out, Democrats have reason to be worried in light of these figures, especially as their campaign to smear this great man's name. Okay, fine. Stop right there. What does that mean? So on ABC, why is she saying it? Is it serious? Is it important? You damn right it's important. And you know who this scares more than anybody else? Ron DeSantis, the GOP. This is like nothing else. There is nothing like this. There is nothing like this. Nixon resigned. They're going to impeach you. The hell with it. Nixon resigned. Well, they're going to impeach you. Trump would have said, impeach this. I got your impeachment right here. Impeach this. I don't care. So what? Isn't that something? Nobody else would do this. Trump would say, it doesn't matter. LBJ said, I will not seek and I will not accept your nomination as president. Why? Because you're a little wussy. Trump would have said, screw this, I'm running. Do you understand what happened? Do you see what is happening? Do you get this? Do you follow this? Do you see what is happening? Does all of this make sense to you? Tell me you see. This is unprecedented. The rules don't apply. I don't know how to explain this anymore to you. It is unbelievable. The rules are different. Donald Trump, as we speak right now, and I didn't say that I was so big on Bobby Kennedy, and then I realized he doesn't have it. He does not have it in the least. He does not have it. Bobby Kennedy does not have it. Bobby Kennedy does not have it. Do you hear what I'm saying? He doesn't have it. I don't know I don't know if they got him. I don't know. Scared him, spooked him, whatever it was. He doesn't have it. You got me? He doesn't have it. But Trump, unbelievable. Then I did a brand new, as you may or may not know, dear friends. I think you know this. I think you know this. I hope you know this. I have this private channel, and I did one before. Oh, I did some buttes. And I can talk freely because you cannot speak here as such. Do you understand this? You cannot speak here as such. I want you to understand what I'm saying. As wonderful as everything is, do not think for a moment that you can go all crazy and trash COVID and talk about all this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot do this. So on this particular one right here, that's the private channel. I just did one just moments before. It's called, listen to this. You're going to love this. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Let me read these to you. You ready for this? You're going to love this. Here we go. This last one was called U.S. Special Ops and Intel Plan to Wage a Real-Time Synthetic Media AI Information and Disinformation War. This is so freaking cool. It's called Accrete, this program. And by the way, I realize when I talk about AI and AGI, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense to people. In any event. So that's one thing. And we have OpenAI and AI, AGI will be more than will do more than concoct dread. This is, by the way, propaganda using AI and AGI. I use that on my private channel because I explained to you what I think is going to be done. The systematic plan to scrub and politically expunge RFK Jr. And then we talked about the Donna Brazil thing. But here is the most important. In the one that was just published right now, this is called obscene gerontocracy. And I love this word. It was called obscene, or I forget, was it called obscene? It might have been the word, and I want to give credit for this. It might have been from The Hill or from The Rising. Obscene gerontocracy is called the Senate is becoming the most exclusive nursing home. Now, let me tell you what most people would do. And you may or may not know this, and you may not agree. I don't know. It's up to you. Most people would just make fun of Mitch McConnell. They would just make fun of him. Hey, look at Mitch McConnell. He's staring. Hey, look at Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's just staring off in the yeah. Mitch McConnell. You see Mitch McConnell? He's just staring. He froze. As oh, there's Dianne Feinstein. Oh my God, look at Dianne Feinstein. Oh dear God, look at her. Oh, look at there's John Fetterman. Oh my God, I don't even know if that is John Fetterman. Oh, and then there's old pictures of Hillary. And then there's Joe Biden. He's shaking hands with nobody, and that's it. And that's as far as it goes. That's the level of depth of most of the people, I'm sorry to tell you, that you're going to see on these platforms. That's all you're going to see. And you're going to have somebody saying, pointing it out and just, okay, well, tell me what it means. What? Tell me what it means. What does this mean? Read into this. Don't just point to the obvious. Tell me what it means. Do you know what this means? What does it mean? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Liz Solak says Trump's not perfect, but no one is. No, Liz, you are. You are. You are, baby girl. You are. Liz Solak is perfect. She's like the Madonna. She's perfect. Not a mean bone in her body. No, you're different. The rest of you all are. Liz is a different story. Tito Tirado says Trump is the only person that can save us from these crazy Democrats. Politicians cause Trump is not a politician, he's a patriot. Okay. Well, yeah, but maybe. I don't know if he's a patriot. I guess. I mean that that's a word. That's like saying a swell guy. What does that mean? I don't know. Swell. What does it mean? So swollen, swell? I don't know. I don't really know what it is. I told you what I want. This is what I want. I want Trump to say, remember what I told you? Waive the inaugural. Screw the inauguration. I'm going to get to work. I don't want to have. Here, you have a party. I'll leave you some money. Here, buy some pizza, whatever. You have a party. I have no time for a party. I've already had a party. I want to get down to work. Let's go. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that scare the scheisse out of people? When people say, "Oh no, did you hear what Trump did? He didn't what? He didn't have him. No. Oh God. Oh, he's serious. Oh yeah." And go in and start just firing people, and to go in and to use. And some people said about this before, to go in and to destroy the superstructure of Washington, which is basically the basis of the deep state. This enshrined, I don't know what you want to call it. This super bureaucracy. He just goes in and just executive order, just shutting down. I mean, just I want him to bring all his people and say, what can I do? I want to shut down. Give me a department. I want to shut down something. Ladies and gentlemen, it's MD. MD says, intellect is nothing without energy. Ideas are nothing without energy. High energy people win. Andrew Cobra Tate. Okay. What does this mean? Andrew Tate? He's not your hero, is he? I got news for you. I think Andrew Tate is the sleaziest. I despise him. Okay. A long time ago, crazy meant something. Nowadays, everybody's crazy. Pain's not bad. It's good. It teaches you things. I understand that. I never thought it was normal. Never tried to be normal. And one of my favorite ones is look up at me. Who said this? Look up at me. The quote says, oh yes, look down at me and you see a fool. Look up at me and you see a God. Look straight at me and you see yourself. Charles Manson. Charles Manson. You got that? Ladies and gentlemen, Born to Raise Hogs says, Lionel for AG. Oh, thank you so much. I wouldn't be AG, but it's a nice way of thinking. You know what I was thinking, Born? I was watching this thing tonight. It was a Netflix on when New York was, well, when the mob and the mafia were big. You know that? It was about that. It was about when the mob was big and when it was whatever. And to make a long story short, make a long story very, very, very short, it was, I don't want to say this, it was Well, make a long story short. It was during the time of the mob, and Rudy Giuliani was the king of the castle, king of everything. Rudy was it. Rudy was. Now he's relegated to this, and they were talking about these folks and how people love the mob. And it's like the same 4 or 5 people saying the same thing. What was Jimmy the Jet Burke like? What was Tommy DeSimone saying? Oh, please. And as we were talking, or as I was watching this, I'm thinking, remember when the Department of Justice was like, wow. I mean, it was Chertoff and Rudy, and they went after, and they busted this mob up. They busted the Italian mob, not the Russians, not the Albanians, not the Chinese. Where are these people now? When was the last time anybody ever heard of? You would be, if I was the Attorney General. First of all, you would see arrests and operations for child trafficking. You would see it for just a host of human trafficking problems and the like. You can't imagine what I would do. And we live in a world right now where we had the Attorney General actually suggest that parents could be investigated by the FBI if they were to speak too vociferously at a school board meeting. So, but what Trump has to do, he has to go in and blow everything up, because I was thinking this was just, might have been better with the mob today. Maybe the mob could help us. But there is nothing, this knows no corollary. Go back to what? Please ask your friends, ask parents or people that remember. Richard Nixon stepped down because they were going to impeach him. Trump says, I don't care. Trump was indicted four times. LBJ was only 63 when he died. 63. Did you see how bad he smoked like 8 packs of cigarettes a day, drank a quart of Cutty Sark? Anyway, this just, there's nobody like Trump. Trump says, I'm not going to quit. Impeach this. He was impeached twice. Wasn't convicted. It's a different world. Everything is a different world. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. My goal is simple. I want you to understand this again. I want to politically destroy this movement that has taken over my country. And we give it a name. Do you know, before we had the Kefauver Commission, before we had a lot of other stuff, before there were actual congressional hearings, they didn't know who these people were. They didn't know about the mob. They didn't know about the mob. Do you understand this? They didn't know who the mob was. They never heard about the mob. They didn't know about the mafia. They didn't know anything about the mafia. They had J. Edgar Hoover was doing everything in his power to keep the mob quiet. Why was that? And don't give me the business about the dress. That was a Roy Cohn story that was ridiculous. I mean, he might have been in dresses, but he did not do that. Believe me, he did not do that. He and Clyde Tolson were lovers, but that's a different story. But I want to destroy this group. And I need unconventional, irregular. I basically, just the way the FBI has to hire the mob to do this, I have to hire or work with people that I may not necessarily like. And I want them to understand politically, this is what you're doing. I know this terrain. I know how this works. And nobody will listen to me. Bobby Kennedy's going to turn out to be a fraud. I hope I'm wrong. Please let me be wrong. A fraud who says, I'm getting kind of older, and because Bobby Kennedy's an egomaniac, and he basically, you know how the expression, he's a typical Kennedy. He's like a 3-peckered goat. You know how he is. He's a satyr. He's one of these people. He traces skirt, and it's a way that he's validated. He kept track of the women he bedded, and oh please, I have so little time. You have no little boys. People like Tucker, like your friend Tucker, hanging around Andrew Tate. Why? Because Andrew wants to be like these people. He hangs around men, tough guys that he kind of wishes he was, because he thinks he's a dweeb. He thinks he's a dweeb. He thinks he doesn't really. He's got to go out of his way to always. One minute he's a Christian, and by the way, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. He's not running for office, but he's still a very serious part of this political contingent that I think is important to destroy these other people. So we got to pay attention to him to an extent. But he's a little boy who wants to be cool. He has a lot of self-doubt. That's why he hangs around these Andrew Tates, because he thinks, this guy's got girls. He's got girls in a dungeon, or whatever the accusations are, which remain to be proved. He's presumed innocent, ladies and gentlemen. What you heard regarding the BBC, oh, that's nothing. And that cretin, the Beotian, the Starura, Portnoy. Oh dear God, I don't understand it. But we need these people. I have to employ them, and if they work, fine, I'll do business with them. But understand who they are. They're children. You see, my dear friends, we have little boys out there. Little boys. Have you seen the Fred Ziffels are out there with their tattoos, and they're tough, and they're this and that, and they have Gadsden flags, and they want to be a lot of the January 6th people. Oh, we're going to go there, and we're going to be like in combat. What are you dressing like this for? We're going to take back. We're patriot. Patriots, does that mean you are not Tench Cox? You are not Nathan Hale. What are you doing? It's these little boys who also want to talk about their war, and they think that's it, or they want to fight. Zuckerberg, he wants to fight Elon Musk. He's learning how to choke people. What is the matter with you? Intellect, smart. Show me the smart people. Show me the brilliant people. Who are the masters? Who is like the Robert Moses? I know this kind of arcane, but the real geniuses. You know what the issues today are that are most important? AI, but AGI in particular, BRICS, AGI, number one issue, and I cannot get to first base with that one. People don't like it. People don't get it. It's boring. It doesn't grab people enough. I need to form a new movement, a new country, a new political party. And we take people that are left over in the middle. And I want to take young people, and I want to get young people. And I told you this before. They're afraid. They're very concerned about climate change. So what do? We mock them. Why? The whole idea about climate change and climate stuff is you mock them. Why do you do that? Because that's who we are. We are a nation of trolls. You understand what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? We are a nation of trolls. That's it, my friends. That's it. Look at this, Liz Solak. Today's mob is Joe and Hunter Biden and company. She's so right. You listen to Liz. You listen to what she has to say. She's a visionary. You understand what I'm saying? A visionary. She's a saint. Got that? Heart as pure as the driven snow. Whatever the hell that means. What is a driven snow? What does that mean? I have no idea. And if it's neither here nor there, where is it? I was listening to an old Martin Mull album today. I'm everyone you've ever loved. And the one line said was, thank you all for coming, or however you reacted. The good old days. All right, dear friends, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for this. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you. Thank you, MD. Thank you for your kindness, MD. Thank you, MD. Seriously, thank you. Good, good, good of you. Thank you. You're very, very kind. And born to raise hogs? Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are more than kind. And I appreciate that immensely. Now, my friends, it's we're gonna be tomorrow morning, of course, gonna do our thing. Tomorrow's Labor Day. What's everybody doing? What's everybody planning for Labor Day? What are you gonna do? Tell me what you're gonna do. What are you gonna do? What's your big deal? What's your big deal? I like what Angela writes here. Angela says, "We are a nation of trolls." Oh, you're so right. We are so right. We are so right. You look at this. See that? See the love? See that, Liz? See the the heart. Heart. As big as Texas. Yes, 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 yes. There's, of course, Laura Floyd giving you the thumbs up. And you know, in some countries, this is considered very, very obscene, almost as bad as that. Don't do this in some countries. Be very, very careful when you do that. I know what that rest means. All right, dear friends. We'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be back at 8 o'clock. Please don't forget, preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. Do you have a boogie bag? Do you have your ammo ready? Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm telling you right now, you better have something when SHTF occurs. There's going to be a whole bunch of people looking for stuff to take and stuff to steal. And it may not be for long periods of time, but just enough. And I want you to do a couple of things here. You better make sure you have food stored. You better make sure you have a generator. By the way, my Patriot Supply can help you with all that. Water, how to purify water. Can you do that? Do you have gravity filters? Can you do that? You may not be able to get out anymore. You may not be able to. Do you have water stored? You ready to do this? And I'm not talking about, listen, I'm not talking about these things where, it looks like, the end of times. But 3 months is enough. And also I want you to understand, when do you protect yourself? You better think about this carefully. When do you protect yourself? When can you do this? Had a very interesting argument the other day with a friend of mine who says, "Oh, I'm going to get a gun. You're going to get a gun. Oh, I'm going to get a gun. I don't think you should get a gun. Why not?" I said, "Well, I don't think you know what you're doing. What are you talking about?" So I don't know if I want to have a gun, because right now there's a big problem. Do you really know what you're doing? Well, I'm going to take. No, it's not. It's not about not. Do you know how to shoot it? Do you know when to shoot it? Can you live with this? You know what happens when they sue you? We got people talking about carry permits. I got a carry permit. You got a carry permit in the city? You want to walk around with a gun? What are you going to do? Shoot somebody in the city here with live rounds here? You're going to miss? It's going to kill somebody? What are you talking about? Do you know what you're talking about? No, people don't. They don't know what they're. Think about this. There's all these. Oh, there's all. Oh, you ever seen? Well, I got me a new gun. Did you see it? Look at that. It's a Casul. It's a Wildy. It's a 375 auto mag with auto traction and 9 barrel. 15 American double load hot load, double my side, my aluminum, my magnetite. It's got a magnetite force in it, a bifusel. It's got a double bifusel and a central. It's got a centrum guide in a pivot harness. And it goes dead center now, and you can knock the ball. You can knock the balls off a flea 50 feet. You got that? Yeah, that's right. I got it right now. They put the hole in it. I got alternating rounds too. Do you know when to use this? You better believe I know you're going to my house. I'm going to do what I tell you. What was that again? If somebody comes to my house, I'll do two of them. Take care of that damn thing. I'm going to shoot my damn. You're going to shoot. I want to shoot them all the time. Somebody comes to your house. Somebody comes to my house. I'm going to shoot them right there. Through the door, family. You're going to shoot them through the door. What? Well, they come inside. They better be tried by 12 or carry by 6, something like that. What are you talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I got me a gun. I got me a gun. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do it. You have no idea what you're talking about. No earthly idea. What do we have? I've got a gun. What are you going to do? You better sit around. Better talk to your family. When SHTF, do you know where to go? Do you know what to do? Do you ever have a meeting? Okay, here's in case something happens. This is the food. This is this. These are the numbers. Do you have a generator? Do you have a portable radio? You have a portable radio that you can kind of crank up? Radio still, believe it or not, you can have a radio station, do you? This stuff years ago, I would have said, this is the most ridiculous stuff. What are you talking about there, Crocodile Dundee? What are you, Grizzly Adams? Not anymore. I'll tell you, don't give me your name. Give him 2 razors for eyes and make a man out of him. What? I'm going to show that Tucker Carlson I'll do everything. I'm going to take you outside and show you how to be a man. We're going to feel stripping moose. We're going to cut his balls off and stick them on a stick and eat them on fire. We're going to eat balls of moose balls on fire. You got that, Tucker? We're going to do it right now. I'll show you how to do it real good. Get her up. Okay. These are different days. See, Eric Powell says these are different days. You better believe this. Oh, look at Liz. EMP, electromagnetic pulse. What's that? I don't know. What's that? China flies over a thing, one of these balls, hey, from the balls. Can you hear that? You ever been inside a store where everything just kind of... Oh, yeah. You got your batteries, you got your this, you got your flashlights, you got all that stuff? He was right. You should have listened to him. That boy made sense. That Lionel guy. He was talking about all them stored food, and I laughed at him. I got my gun here, but I can't eat my gun. Well, that's a terrible expression. He was right about that. Yeah, he talked about water and batteries. We don't have all damn water and battery. We got nothing. By the way, a terrible thing. Lahaina? Did you know that so many of these houses had 12 people, 15 people, that this is the way Hawaiians live, that they're just gone. And Biden is like saying, I'm not going to travel. Anyway, enough of that. You have a great day, my friends. Thank you so much for everything. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Don't forget these faithful words as we always say goodbye. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Let me try it again.